I've always been attracted to challenges, and we've done a lot of development. When we started development, we didn't have any money, so we were only able to find sites that were extremely difficult to develop. And we ended up learning how to develop and architecturally work out very complex sites. I'm an architect, incidentally, so I'm not only a developer. And we enjoy the challenge. Residential is right now in a very strong position. There's a tremendous market, not only locally, but nationally. And I think that's going to stay for a while. And offices, I am sure, are going to start coming back. A lot of people that have been working at home are going to want to go back and have a little home base for their work. I don't think that offices are going out of business completely, but there has been a change, and that's going to stay. And I think it is a lot of people will work a certain amount of time at home, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
Ginsburg has developments throughout Westchester, various places, across the river too. What do you see for development along the riverfront, and is there a danger of doing too much development along the Hudson River?
I think I do believe in Hudson River development, and I believe in the redevelopment and repositioning of the Hudson River towns, in the sense that we want to generate tourism. The Hudson River, one of the most beautiful rivers in the world, is the only major river that doesn't really have any cruise ships on it. And tourism depends on having places for ships to stop, and eventually I think tourism will bloom on the Hudson River, and the waterfronts will not be overdeveloped. A lot of them have already been made into parks, even when there has been development on waterfronts, like we have done in Haverstraw, where we have quite a bit of development. But the shoreline and the trails and the sculptures and make the parks special, and the connectivity. If you could start connecting Hudson River towns, you have a potential for tremendous tourism. New York needs tourism. They had all these millions and millions of tourists going to New York City, and only a small fraction would go upstate. And I have traveled to many parts of the world. If you go to Paris, there are so many places to go from Paris to tour France, and they tour France. But we get very few people that go to any places outside of New York City, and nobody really tours New York State. But if you had more destination places like the Abbey Inn that I've created, you would start promoting tourism, real tourism that are not just backpackers. And I've got nothing against backpackers, but basically that's the type of tourists that go upstate. You do not really get the European people that stay at the Waldorf Astoria touring New York State.